Most people think of the Beverly Hills Hotel as this timeless pink palace tucked under the palms on Sunset Boulevard, the place where celebrities go to escape the world, where deals are whispered in leather booths, and where scandals get buried under poolside smiles. But the truth is, the hotel you see today isn't exactly the one that started it all. The original Beverly Hills Hotel has been remodeled, expanded, polished, and transformed so many times that it's basically a completely different beast now. And if you rewind back to when it first opened in 1912, you'd barely recognize it. It wasn't surrounded by multi-million-dollar homes or luxury cars. There was no Rodeo Drive, no shopping, no stars, just dusty land, a few lemon groves, and a hotel that stood completely alone in the middle of nowhere, like a postcard from a future that hadn't arrived yet. Before the hotel, Beverly Hills wasn't even a city. It was undeveloped land that had gone through a long streak of failure. The area started as part of the old Rancho Rodeo de las Aguas, Spanish land grants that got chopped up and passed around in the 1800s. Then, in the early 1900s, developers came in hoping to strike oil. When that failed, they were stuck with a bunch of dry, dusty property they had no idea what to do with. Instead of scrapping the whole thing, they pivoted. Why not make it a luxury neighborhood? But how do you sell that dream when you're surrounded by empty fields? That's where the hotel came in. The developers built the Beverly Hills Hotel before the neighborhood even existed, not for tourists, but as a way to lure in wealthy home buyers. It wasn't just a hotel, it was bait. The mastermind behind the idea was Burton E. Green, an oil man who had a knack for turning loss into opportunity. When oil drilling turned up more water than oil, he shifted gears and reimagined the land as a high-end residential community. To make it work, he needed an anchor, something glamorous that would convince rich folks this place was worth investing in. So he brought in architect Elmer Gray to design a hotel that looked like something straight out of a Mediterranean dream. The original building had red tile roofs, sprawling verandas, lush gardens, and a breezy open-air vibe that felt more like an estate than a commercial hotel. When it opened in May of 1912, rooms started at $12 a night, a serious luxury rate back then, and it was instantly positioned as a retreat for people who were used to living big. And just like that, the marketing strategy clicked. Wealthy visitors fell in love with the hotel, and the surrounding land started selling. And once Hollywood caught on, everything changed. Celebrities like Mary Pickford and Douglas Fairbanks started hanging around and eventually built their own homes just down the road. Then came Charlie Chaplin, Rudolph Valentino, and Gloria Swanson, all part of early Hollywood royalty. The hotel became the unofficial headquarters for the industry's elite, the place where movie contracts were negotiated over brunch and affairs were quietly conducted in the bungalows. The hotel wasn't following the development of Beverly Hills, it was creating it. By the time the city of Beverly Hills officially incorporated in 1914, the hotel was already thriving. It was so successful that it practically willed the neighborhood into existence. People didn't move to Beverly Hills and discover the hotel. They discovered the hotel and decided to stay. But the version of the hotel that exists today looks very different from that original structure. In 1949, the hotel underwent one of its most dramatic transformations. That's when the crescent wing was added, giving the building the iconic curved layout that people now associate with its classic look. And in the decades that followed, more changes piled on. The red roof was replaced by soft pink stucco. The gardens were redesigned. Art Deco accents were added. Every remodel pushed the hotel further from its early California roots and closer to the ultra-polished Hollywood fantasy it's known for now. Some of the original architecture was demolished. Other parts were simply buried under newer designs. What's standing today is more like a layered collage of different eras than a preserved relic of the past. Even through all the renovations and upgrades, the stories that played out inside those walls never stopped. The Beverly Hills Hotel became a stage for Hollywood's most notorious drama, the kind that never made it to the big screen. Secret weddings, open secrets, studio bosses plotting over cocktails in the Polo Lounge, movie stars checked in under fake names. And in the middle of all that, there was Howard Hughes, the eccentric billionaire who holed up in one of the hotel's bungalows off and on for over 30 years. He ordered the same food every day, called in odd requests at 3 a.m., and sometimes wouldn't leave his room for weeks. No one dared ask questions. He paid well, tipped big, and kept to himself. That bungalow became one of the most mysterious places on the property, and to this day, staff still whisper about the things he left behind. Over the years, the hotel changed hands multiple times. In the 1980s, there were rumors of it being torn down or replaced with something newer. Preservationists fought back. Hollywood insiders begged the city to protect it. Eventually, the Beverly Hills Hotel was granted landmark status. But even that didn't stop the upgrades. The most recent restoration in the early 2000s brought back some of the original glamour while updating everything to modern luxury standards. Flat screens replaced rotary phones, spa services were added, but the energy, that weird, seductive mix of elegance and secrecy, stayed the same. Because no matter how many times the paint dries or the carpets change, the stories that live in those walls don't go anywhere. So what happened to the original Beverly Hills Hotel? In a way, it vanished, bit by bit, remodel by remodel. Some of the original architecture is gone. Some of the original guests are long buried. But the idea of it, the role it played in shaping an entire neighborhood, the way it blurred the line between fantasy and reality, that's still very much alive. The hotel wasn't built just to give people a place to sleep. It was built to sell a dream, to create an illusion so powerful that it reshaped the landscape of Los Angeles. And in that sense, it's still doing exactly what it was meant to do. Only now, the illusion costs a lot more than $12 a night.